In January 2000, we got married and we trusted God for the fruit of the womb immediately. When it didn't happen, we were quite disappointed. Coming up to year 3, we decided to seek medical intervention just to check out what was happening. Initially, they said there was nothing wrong with either of us and that we would be able to get pregnant if we just carried on. So we continued waiting. Later along the lines, they saw that I had fibroids, but they did say that the fibroids wasn't inside the womb, it was outside the womb. So it was still okay. It wasn't affecting me from conceiving. But when we got to, I think, 2010, they said the fibroids had grown and that they suggested that I should have the surgery. I had the fibroid surgery in 2011. And after that, we were told everything was fine and you can conceive naturally. Before my 40th birthday, we ended up doing IVF, but it failed. It was so disappointing. At the time of going back and forth the hospital, I came across Bishop Oyedepo's book, You Shall Not Be Barren. I read that book and that encouraged my faith. Spoke to my husband about it and we decided to go to Shiloh in 2007. At that time, we were not a member of Winners Chapel. We went to Shiloh and we had an experience of our lifetime. We came back energized, we came back full of faith, because we also went to the Fathers and Mothers of Nation class and we heard so many outstanding testimonies. Since then, I've been coming to Shiloh in Dartford, UK, as well as in Canaan, Nigeria, and I've been attending the Fathers and Mothers of Nation class. Also, I read anointed books by Bishop, by Pastor Mrs. Faith Oyedepo, and Pastor Mrs. Mary Abioye. I engaged in the mysteries. I would anoint my tummy on a daily basis, and we would take communion on a daily basis as a family. And also the mantle. I did not joke with the mantle. There are times I would tie the mantle around my tummy. Sometimes when I go to bed at night, I'll have the mantle on my tummy, or it could be also during the day. One thing I did not joke at all with was testimonies. When I listen to people's testimonies, I pick from it and I apply it. I remember Mama said that to write testimonies down. There was a time I was writing down testimonies and I'll pick up from what they've done and apply it, because I know if God did it for one, He would also do it for me. My husband and I, we joined the service unit. I served in the children's church as well as the prayer squad. And my husband joined the production department as well as IT.
22 years of marriage was quite it was quite an experience. Throughout that waiting period, we held on to our faith in God and we kept serving Him unrelenting. One time we were on holiday in Paris, and the Lord showed me a vision of the son that He was going to give us. It was very clear and specific. And I told my wife, and since then, we kept believing God to His word and just trusting Him and obeying the instructions from the altar.
In 2018, we decided to come to Canaan land to camp with God. And in one of the covenant hours in the morning, by divine privilege, we met with the bishop. As he was going out, I greeted him and I just knelt down and said, "Papa, we've been trusting God for the fruit of the womb." And he turned to me, he looked at me with the compassion of a father. I can never forget that look on his face. And he said, "Go and return with your miracle babies." So we returned back to our station in Dartford and we continued serving God wholly. with our heart. I remember Papa would say that when your cloud is full, your rain will drop. So we plugged ourselves into kingdom advancement service, soul winning, kingdom advancement prayers. I would pray midnight. I joined the 12 midnight group, praying for the church. And we kept on serving holy, trusting God that our time will come. In 2019, I fell pregnant, but unfortunately we lost it. But that did not deter us. We carried on trusting God and serving God and taking a lot of faith actions. We bought clothes. We would wash the baby's clothes. We initially bought a Moses basket, but at 2019, we actually bought a crib and we decorated the children's room. And I would go in there and pray with the children. We would have the Bible playing overnight in the room, and we would bath them in the morning. We would call them into the room for devotion when we're doing our daily devotion. Initially, I started doing that, but my husband joined me after, which was good. We were paying tithes for them as well. And we were just doing everything we learned from the altar. During the 40th anniversary of the church in 2021, by divine privilege, I was able to speak to Pastor David Oyedepo. He knew our story from when he was in the Dartford church. He prayed with me and said to me that the Lord would do it. And this was in May. And to the glory of God, in June, I was confirmed pregnant. God sustained the pregnancy. I've always prayed to God to give me the body of a healthy 25-year-old woman to carry pregnancy. And that was exactly what God did for me. It gave me the strength to carry through. And in February 2022, I gave birth to my gorgeous, handsome baby boy at the age of 54 plus, just 3 months to my 55th birthday, after 22 years of waiting. I return all the glory to God, who is not a user of men, but a rewarder of men.